What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy. Had that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, and awesome. All right, everybody. So real quick background here. In Michigan, a sex trafficking ring was discovered. Very, very big. And it reminds me of the dream that I had back in October, to be specific, October 18th, where the Lord gave me a word/dream on exposure incoming. Now, this applies to so many different things. And I said once before, this is going to be used for many different things because the Lord was referring to a lot of situations, which he is telling me which ones. But basically, in the dream I had, I caught this man in a lie pretty much. And this didn't just apply to the church. This applied to everybody. All in all, it had something to do with child abuse, but trafficking, you know, in a sense. And with these trafficking rings, all types of women and children, you know, they bring into this stuff. So that was huge in Michigan. Trafficking. Exposure of that is so huge because, you know, if those people got caught, they're just a part of an operation full of people. So God is really busting people as the results have come in. You know, the Lord said on November 19th, the results are in. And so people getting busted out here. Busted. So just another follow-up with the Lord telling us exposure was coming and big exposure is coming. And again, we're just trying to follow everything. The Lord is bringing me to everything because, you know, the news don't always be honest. And God always tell us what he's going to do before he does it. So I'm sure there's bigger exposures coming. We just got to stay tuned or let the Lord bring it to us. Okay. So we did the background now to the prior word and the event. October 18th dream here earlier this morning. I had a dream. A man said a statement repeatedly. Now, I can't remember the exact phrase, and it wasn't really an important phrase. But basically, this man's statement, he was repeating over and over. Then other people came up to me and repeated the same statement, but in a similar way. But theirs were very similar. The guy's was off. I began to notice in the dream that his statement was kind of off compared to everybody else. Like everybody was following the script to tell me, thank you, Father. And this guy got off script somehow. And he was the opening to me seeing something was wrong, right? And once I began to be alarmed by the fact that I could tell the difference and his statement was off script according to everybody else, I felt it had to do with child abduction or something that this man did or this person did that was not righteous. It was very, very unclean. It was very bad. A major crime, to say the least, right? So I woke up and the Lord said this: a major reveal and exposure is coming. Get ready for all of the truth to come forth. No more lies, no more secrets. All shall be revealed. Okay, that is all.
We are digging deeper tonight into a human trafficking operation that was busted in Detroit.
The investigation started in Royal Oak Township. MSP troopers listening to people talk there made them sort of connect the dots to a house in Detroit where we'll just say an awful, shocking discovery was made. Sean Lay live with the newest details on a very real, very harmful operation. Sean.
Devin, you're exactly right. We want to know more about this, and we're told what we're finding out. This was human sex trafficking going on inside and outside of that home. Here's how we know. Today we're learning details that not only were 6 women in that home held against their will, they were beaten by their captors and forced into sex acts, giving the money back to their captors. What is the latest?
So right now we finished up with our investigation after serving our search warrants. We made 4 arrests out of the people that were detained out on the scene. Those 4 were lodged at the Detroit Detention Center, so they'll be there until the prosecutor makes a decision on the rest of what's going on in the investigation. As far as the victims went, we had one that wanted immediate medical assistance as well as some services that we could provide to her. Our detectives were able to get that for her, so she was there. The other victims didn't want anything immediate, but they wanted a list of services that were available to get them out of that situation, so that was provided to them as well, and then they were released.
Lieutenant Mike Shaw with Michigan State Police with new information tonight about a very real case of human sex trafficking. 6 women, all over the age of 20, and each from a different part of Michigan, MSP says were held against their will. They were hooked on drugs and forced to engage in prostitution, given cash quotas that they had to make. The young women, mostly runaways, easily preyed upon, becoming addicted to narcotics. The evidence so far showing they were forced to engage in sex to make their captors cash.
4 men are behind bars tonight after police uncovered a human trafficking operation in Detroit. And police tell us that they learned of the operation during questioning at a stolen car complaint last Wednesday.
7 Action News reporter Sarah Michael, who spoke with police about the disturbing rules the human trafficking victims were living under.
The house where these crimes allegedly happened is on this block. Neighbors tell me that they saw people coming and going constantly. They feared that it was a drug house, but the reality is even worse.
There was violence in there if they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Those are the conditions Michigan State Police say 7 women were living under at a home that police raided Monday night in Detroit.
They weren't allowed to have phones, they weren't allowed to have their ID, they couldn't leave the house on their own, they had certain quotas they had to make as far as money from each day or else they were beaten.
According to Lieutenant Shaw, the women were victims of human trafficking, and they weren't all police found Monday night.